be. Using the information that you created on your Google Docs. So on the next page, you're just going to type paragraphs out using what you've already created about your characters, your setting, your plot, and the chronological order of it. So we are talking about dialogue today. Someone tell me what dialogue is. What is dialogue? No one knows what dialogue is?
It's like when you're writing about something that you don't know how the character is talking.
Right. So dialogue are the words exchanged between characters. So one way that you can develop your characters in your story is by using dialogue between them. You can provide background to the reader and allow the reader to feel closer to the characters and hear their voices when they are reading it. So when I read something that has dialogue in it, when I read it in my head, I try to change their voice in my head, or I imagine how they would sound in my head. Alright, please make sure you keep yourself muted if you have a TV or something on in the background. So, looking at this, an example from Dragons at Crumbling Castle, we have this dialogue. "I'm afraid there's no possibility of taking the dam down," said the Lord, hiding behind Fortnite. "We built it to make a swimming pool." "You don't have to take it down," said Ralph. "All you need to do is build a few caves out of bricks or something." So from this dialogue, who are the two speakers?
Ralph and the Lord.
Ralph and the Lord, exactly. What does the Lord's dialogue reveal about him? If he's saying, "I'm afraid there's no possibility of taking the dam down, we built it to make a swimming pool," what does that reveal about him?
That he's clumsy, or he's a give-up person.
Is he trying to help Ralph, or no?
No.
Right, so he's unhelpful. He's not really good at cooperating with others. What about Ralph? What does what he says, his dialogue, reveal about him? You don't have to take it down. All you need to do is build a few caves out of bricks or something. How is he acting right now towards the Lord?
Helpful.
He's being helpful. Right? I use this word a lot at the beginning of the year. Starts with an A. When you're staying calm and you're being respectful with what you want, you're being what? What?
Assertive.
Assertive. Yay. Great. Thank you. All right. So he's being assertive. He's staying calm. He's being respectful to the Lord. Just saying the things that he can do without taking down the dam. So, when you guys are writing your drafts today using the information you have already created from last week, I want you to put in some dialogue between your characters that lets me or anyone else that will read it get like an inside scoop on them. So I can see what kind of character they are. Right, so with your antagonist, I'm sure some of the dialogue will be like, the Lord. Your protagonist might be like Ralph. How many of you know how to punctuate dialogue? Do you know what kind of punctuation goes with a dialogue? You can see it. Right, so we got quotations. We got them at the beginning, before they talk, and then we have it at the end after they're done talking. And then there's one other thing that always goes with it.
A period.
It's not always a period.
A comma.
A comma. Right, so down here, use quotation marks before and after the character's exact words, just like I said. Right, what was that? There's a question mark because it's a question. Remember, we'll never know if you're asking a question if you don't put a question mark. Asked Wally. Put the dialogue tag before, in the middle of, or after a quotation. It is always outside the quotation marks. Alright, so here's the tag. Before, Molly said most respectfully, right, so this is the tag. You know that she said it. You're protecting your babies, aren't you? You always put a comma after. We put a comma before the quotes come. So there's the comma, the quotes, what the character said, and then quotes again. In the middle, oh no, gasped Molly. I'm not allowed to swim in the open water in the bay. If you put it in the middle, that means the character said what came before it and what came after it, or you can put it after. I don't know, but I don't want to hear it again, replied R.D. with a shudder. Right, so again, comes after the quote. 3 ways that you can do that. This is all in your Schoology as well. I created a different folder for writing because I thought it would be way easier than what I did last week. Again, like Jackson said, we're going to use commas with dialogue tags. Put a comma after the dialogue tag. Rosie said, comma, let's scram. Put a comma after the first part of the quotation and after the dialogue tag. Yesterday, comma, Molly said, comma, I went to the library. And you put a comma at the end of the quotation. If you're not completing a sentence, you put a comma there. No, that's boring, said Wally. There's the period. If you are completing a sentence, you put the end punctuation inside the quotation marks. Period, question mark, exclamation point, all goes inside the question marks when you are writing. Alright, so is someone brave enough to let me share their imaginative narrative writing so far? What you have completed on your first 4 pages? No? No one? Alright, fine. We'll do mine. We're not gonna read it though. So, mine's about a penguin. Could have never guessed. Oh, I'm changing mine. I'm changing my antagonist. Alright, so, I don't think I finished. Oh my gosh, chill. Okay, I'm not doing that. Anyways, in your writing folder. Well, so in your week 8 folder, you have a writing folder. Let's get that much down. It's a lovely pink color. So you still have your imaginative narrative that you did from last week. It'll take you to your same exact document. Hopefully no one submitted it. I wrote directions on this one for every day this week. So today is Monday. You are to type out your narrative in paragraph form. You need to add dialogue to your work as we discussed on Teams. So right now. So you are drafting. This is your first draft. You have 25 minutes until lunch. You need to be doing this. You need to be drafting. If you haven't done the first 4 pages of it, you need to finish that. Does everyone understand what you need to do?
So we have to dialogue and do our first draft.
Well, yeah. So you're gonna start writing your draft, and as you're writing it, you're going to put dialogue in, which I assumed that you probably would have anyways, since it is an imaginative narrative with characters. What'd you say?
I said probably without the quotation marks, though.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't have used the quotation marks, so I would have had to come back and edit. But now you know to use quotation marks and how to use them. And if you forget, they are the slides I just went over are underneath it. Alright, so you're not going to see all this because it's unpublished for you, but this first one and the second one are about dialogue and punctuation with dialogue, so you can open those. It'll take you to this page, and well, I guess it'll take you to that page. But yes, you can scroll through.
The people who get it, can I leave?
What did you say?
The people who know what they're about to do, can I leave?
Why are you so quick to jump the gun, Howard? Yes.
I need to catch up on some of my work.
Alright, so yes, you are drafting paragraph form. Remember to indent your paragraphs. Use quotation marks on dialogue. Use punctuation. Never run on sentences. So yes, you can leave. You may all leave. Remember, write it after your 4th page on that document. Don't delete anything on there. So you have it to use as a guide.